Good morning, traders. Welcome to StockCast. My name is Todd Derby, along with co-host James Mason. Good morning, James. How you doing today?
Todd, good morning. I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing well. I see in our comments already, Karen posted, can Elon just buy YouTube and fix those problems? Can Elon just buy POAI and fix those problems?
I know, right?
Can Elon buy my house and fix my siding on my house?
Can Elon buy transparent traders and just buy us out? I mean,
Can Elon Musk solve all of our world problems?
can Elon Musk autograph my baby's forehead?
Elon Musk is the uncle that everyone wants to have.
I know. Man, Elon Musk is so cool. Hey, I actually saw, Elon Musk in the news, the whole Johnny Depp trial. I don't know what the hell's going on with it, but there were actually, I'll be honest, I don't know celebrities. I know Johnny Depp because obviously Johnny Depp has been around for like 40 damn years.
Jump Street.
Yeah. Old. But I guess like the woman, like he's divorcing whoever she is, like Elon Musk. There's like pictures of Elon Musk and her having lunch together. And I was just like, yeah, whatever, this is celebrity gossip. But I looked at the pictures and man, you can tell she's straight feeling Elon Musk. So like they actually subpoenaed Musk, but in the end he didn't have to go to court. I mean, probably because he's like in court with like the SEC and other lawsuits and then all the Twitter stuff. I mean,
she wants a bigger payout. Is that what she wants?
You talking about between her and Johnny Depp?
Oh, it's Johnny Depp is wants.
Yeah, his little like divorce, whatever. Like I don't really know what's going on with it. Listen. All I know is Johnny Depp and this woman. Either they got a divorce or getting divorced. Someone pooped in the bed, and now Elon Musk is in pictures with her. Don't know. That's all I know right there.
And this is so since the stock market is dead, we've decided to segue into LA Hollywood and talk about the LA housewives of LA and the gossip of movie stars. I like it.
This is the male version of The View.
Yeah.
We just need Johnny on here now, and then some other. We need Johnny. Karen Graham, we need Johnny, we need Karen Graham. Karen Graham will be like the voice of reason. Ryan Stahl,
but he's got to bring his paraphernalia with him. Like he can't be sober.
That's true. Yeah. Ryan, you gotta smoke pot on the camera. Like we could have our own male version of The View. Well, and / female, because Karen would be the head of it all, kind of like controlling it. Keeping it together.
And the funny thing is, our ratings, like we talk about, people are watching. It would probably go through the roof.
It probably would because it wouldn't be so serious. Be talking about trashy gossip stuff.
Right.
With that being said, man, I forgot my whole point of what I was going to do and say today for sure.
Well, what we're going to talk about, or what you forgot was something.
I mean, kind of like what we're going to talk about, but I had something else to say.
Okay.
All right. I guess we'll just roll on with it.
So we were talking about inflation and giving a couple examples. And actually, I shared one commentary is that right now, if you're over the age of 50, inflation in the late 70s and early 80s was way higher than right now. And it was a tough time. But I remember buying rental properties where I was paying 11, 12, 14% interest rate on a mortgage and making deals work. It's just, you had to work a little bit different, and people are panicking about inflation right now. And it's not that bad overall. I mean, I know there's some things that are going on that are things, and we're going to segue into the labor market, but it's doable and workable in a lot of ways.
So in my life, obviously I was born in the mid 80s, but like inflation, I've experienced inflation differently than you have in your extended life, Todd. And and so
that's true.
Yeah. And so like I experienced extremely high inflation working in the oil fields in North Dakota, like specifically Williston, North Dakota. And a few of y'all know about that life. man, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, everything was expensive. I mean, you would go, I don't know, you go to Buffalo Wild Wings and just your one entree is going to be like 30 some bucks. I mean, it's cool, no big deal when you're pulling in $3 to $5 grand a week. But what was cool about that, and this is kind of like not really making a point here, but what's cool about that was I didn't live in North Dakota. I go there and I make that money based off of those high inflated rates. Then I travel 8 hours back to where I lived, and I brought back all this money, living a normal life, working in a high inflation area. And you talking about having to come up, Jesus Christ, like it better than working for the government.
Yeah, well, that's a good way to do it, actually.
Yeah. I mean, it was a sacrifice, but shit, it was worth it. I mean, it was like, the only sacrifice is being gone for like 6 to 8 weeks, sometimes more at a time, and then the shitty conditions. But I mean, that's no big deal.
You were single at the time, weren't you?
No, I was married.
Were you still married? All right.
Man, shit, like, ask Maggie, like the first 6 years of our marriage, I was gone for almost 4 of them.
Got it.
Yeah. So I just straight grind like that. But yeah, like inflation, like that was my experience with inflation. I mean, it was cool when I didn't have to live in it, but I don't know. There are things that like I've experienced, just like shopping. Well, my wife has experienced and told me about it. Like shopping and just being honest.
Be nice to Maggie. Maggie is the mother of your beautiful daughter, Ilana. Be nice.
No, I am. Like,
Right.
She would tell me about it, like, because she'd like, guess how much we spent on groceries? And I would look in the refrigerator and I'm like, well, there ain't shit in there, but you probably spent about $300. She's like, yep. I'm like, damn, dude. And you look just like watermelon, $13 damn dollars. I'm like, Jesus, like, I mean, I get that they cut it up and put it in a little box for you, but I'm paying for convenience, Todd.
No, there's a lot of truth to that. I mean, there's a lot of value in that. Let me tell you a landscaping story.
Okay.
So I have a friend who has a landscaping business, and they're big. They're a big company. Their average job is around $18,000-$19,000 when they come in and do a job, and they have multiple 100,000 landscaping jobs they do for companies or houses. Wanted to hire an American worker, a former worker, and he wanted to pay him $25 an hour. And that was a skill set. And this is a guy who's going to be on the end of a rake, on a wheelbarrow, setting paving stones down. And with that $25, he gets benefits, he gets overtime, and they work about 60 hours a week. So 20 of his hours are overtime, and the company puts in money in their 401k. It's a pretty good package for a non-educated, someone who's got a little hustle, a little grit to him. The guy wants $35 an hour. And he's like, not willing to, is like, if I can't get 35, I'm going to walk. So the choice was 35, 25 from the company, or 0. And he chose 0. So I'm like, how do you find workers then? He tells me he has 8 HB2 visa contracts where he brings in people from Mexico, bringing 8 people, and the government mandates a minimum pay. He has to pay these guys $19 an hour minimum, and he pays them more. Plus, he has to put them up in housing. Plus, he has to provide transportation, and so he provides a truck for a truck per 4 of them, and they live in housing together. And so, for the 8 workers he brings in, it costs him an extra $40,000 to hire a non-U.S. worker to meet his demands for his workplace. You can't hire someone here locally for $25 an hour. To me, that's
crazy,
mind-boggling. Like I can't wrap my head around it.
Yeah. So, seen a couple comments talking about want to talk about stocks and then our opinions later. Guess what? It's our show. Get over it. I'm just messing with y'all. There ain't nothing to talk about. What do you want to talk about?
There's not a whole lot going there. I want to talk about something. Put a ticker, then tell us why. B Banana is saying something about Turtle Beach. We can talk about that.
Hey, actually, I got my proxy card vote for that. Yep.
I have not seen a proxy card on mine yet.
Okay. Yeah, so now that we actually have something set in stone here, this is when it should start getting wild. More so closer to the actual proxy vote. So I'm actually excited about this one. The stock price has pulled back a shit ton, but I expected that. I mean, you're gonna have both sides of that party just slinging shit at each other. You know, you're gonna have Bank of America saying that Donrail doesn't have the funding, and then you have Donrail saying that Turtle Beach is just trash or whatever they're saying. This is probably get pretty good right here. But what's dangerous for Turtle Beach right now is they let their stock last slide. They closed out yesterday at 1673. That just makes it cheaper for Donrail to buy up shares to just get more of a hold of the company. So Turtle Beach, like the lower that the stock goes, the more they risk on losing out and getting taken over. And that they've made it clear that they don't want to be taken over. But they're going to be put in a position to where they either make this stock price just rocket up, or, well, they get bought out and they all lose their lucrative ass salaries, and that's it. That's a wrap for them. I don't see Bank of America letting that one slide. Like, Bank of America is trying to stick to their guns here, and so is Donrail. This is why this is going to get pretty good. I think Bank of America will come in and rescue Turtle Beach and really try to do something to where Donrail doesn't win this vote in the end. And I'm cool with it. Like, I'll be honest, guys, I really don't care who wins. I got my shares, and I have a shit average right now, but I'm not worried about it because they're going to have to get this ticker up over shit, probably way over 36, in my opinion.
Wow. Have you added your position?
No, I just have 1,200 shares.
All right.
I've actually thought about it. I've thought about adding, and I don't want to get too heavy in it. I thought about adding and going up to 1,500, but I'm pretty secure right at 1,200 shares. My average is 21.39.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's a crappy average right now, but I feel like it'd pay off later. But so yeah, like I don't really care which side wins here. I just care about winning. That's it. I don't care who owns Turtle Beach in the end, but somebody is going to have to pay up here, and shit, I'm just along for the ride.
Yeah, I've got I'm a smaller position than you. My average is 21.16. I think I'm going to try to add a few shares today.
Did you see that crap where the rumor yesterday was people worried that Elon Musk wouldn't be able to finance the Twitter acquisition? And I just like, he done got secured for $46 billion. Like, come on, guys. And then, like, I was reading in more depth about it, and they were trying to say, well, he's actually using his shares in Tesla on loan for this. Okay, cool.
That's
how many shares does he have? He has a ton of shares. Like, Tesla could lose half its value, and he can still afford it. Like,
yeah, and he has options to buy more shares. I don't know if it's twice a year or quarterly, but he has more readily available coming forward to him.
Yeah, like, it just doesn't. I don't know. The market and the people in it who are involved, who actually have a voice, this crap gets so stupid. Imagine taking retail traders and giving some of the dumbest people a voice. We kind of have that already.
Have you ever heard about the Asher effect?
What do you mean?
So there's a study put out, and it's called I think it's called the Asher effect or the Asher study. They bring 5 people into a room, and they have they'll have lines on a paper. 4 of the people are actors, and the one person is the only person that's in the study. And they'll say, okay, line A match up with the other 3 lines there, and the other 4 people all say the wrong line on purpose. And the first couple sheets, the person's like, no, it's it's B, and everyone else said A. By the third or fourth one, the person saying, agreeing with them to, because he wants to be conforming to what they're saying, and they're wrong. To your point that you get more people involved, you're literally, unless they're all geniuses, you're every time you add someone, the average drops considerably. So you saying getting average retailers making decision makings becomes a shit show.
Yeah. Yep. Speaking of that retail trading, man, how about Facebook yesterday?
I didn't trade it, but it's crazy to watch the drop they had here a few weeks ago, and now what's going on. It's they're in for, it's interesting.
Yeah, so I mean, this wasn't an alert because it came from the eye, and like, if nobody knows what the eye is, it's a feature that we created that's only going to be for StockCast. It is nothing like this has ever been created so far yet, guys. At least that's publicly known. I mean, I don't know if anybody on Wall Street secretly has something like this. They could, maybe they don't. I don't know. But what the eye is, we're getting a peek into a certain set of group of banks, institutions, the real people who are whales. And we're actually looking at the dollar amount for what they have in their positions, long and short. And so we're taking all the information in our database, compiling it, and just kind of like just watching their trades. And it was about last week when I showed everybody the screenshot of the eye, because we actually put the data into a chart form where it shows the candlesticks of their trades, and they were around 50 million to the bullish side going into earnings, and they stayed pretty much within that range going into earnings. They took a little bit of profit that first day this week, I think Monday, when it like shot up 6 points, but they held the rest of it all through earnings, and man, they were spot on with how they were feeling about it. Now, one thing we have to remember, guys, with this is, one, it's not an alert. Two, it's not an indicator. These are actual real money positions that are being taken by real people on the other end. But they're banks, institutions, anybody with deep pockets like that on the Wall Street side. Before anybody asks, because I have been asked this before, which people specifically? No, I'm not answering that. It doesn't matter to anybody else beyond us on the back end. So when using this, guys, and I was very cautious. Like, I didn't even take the Facebook trade. And it's not that I don't believe in the product. I really do believe in the product. Like, I day trade with it all the time, swing trade with it. But earnings are a different beast. While they were right there, and they were also right in Netflix, you just never know what earnings will bring. And if you think about it, guys, like, the people who move the market are those big banks, institutions. You get them on the bullish side and you have them on the bearish side. And one of those sides have to lose. So, like, while overall in the end, those big banks and institutions win, they're still taking their losses in between those lines. And I've been having a lot of people ask me since yesterday with the Facebook earnings, and I felt pretty confident. I told a couple people the calls that they were like banking up on, and this is just from me looking up on TD Ameritrade. It looked like they were banking up on the 205 and the 210 calls, and it went up and almost hit 210, I believe. But I'm getting a lot of requests, and it's not that I want to hold back information. It's just there's so much FOMO behind wanting to get access to this data right now. And there's no way to guarantee the results. There's no way to honestly keep accuracy of it. Like, it's impossible to keep accuracy of what the wells predict on earnings. Like, you just can't. In a sense, it still comes back to flipping a coin. Their guidance in what they believe in, and I've done this before, trading earnings. This is why I don't trade earnings no more. All of their knowledge that they have, they could be correct on, and the market will just shift it completely different than what they believe. So while the success of the eye has been impressive, to say the least, extremely impressive, like with earnings, guys, like you still have to.
There's still factors that are out of our control that we don't know about. And you got it. And these guys are making financial decisions based on their available cash, which is much different than what you and I have available to us.
You know, they could take a $50 million hit. They could absolutely could.
Who's the guy that took a huge hit with Netflix? A big fund. Was it Ackman?
Bill Ackman, yeah, $400 million.
$400 million. Like, we can't understand that. Mm-hmm. And it affected his fund by 4%.
Yeah, our wells had a bearish position on that bitch about $800 million.
We're 6 minutes. We're under 6 minutes in the market.
But anyways, guys, like, just because you guys have experienced and seen a couple of these like major home runs, that's not always going to be the case. I mean, you still have to approach this with caution. Like, even though these are the positions that they're taking, that doesn't mean they're going to be right. And don't get me wrong, like when they are right, yeah, I would love to always just cheer about it and bring it up and talk about it, how great our product is. But I'm not dumb. And this is why I have to remain cautious about this with y'all. You don't ever know what can happen with earnings. And a lot of people are asking me to release the numbers, the information, the data for Apple and Amazon today. And I thought about it and I'm not, because I have people banging down my inbox right now. Like a bunch of crackheads. I'm just gonna be honest, like a bunch of crackheads, guys. Like, hey man, can you look at Apple for me? Can you look at Apple for me? And I'm just like, man. And I know if I release that information that so many people are going to go all in. And there's going to be that moment when those wells are wrong. And someone went all in on an earnings trade with their entire account on some short-term expirations.
Yeah.
And their account ends up being zero.
Yeah. That would be.
And at the end of the day, it's going to be, they're not going to blame themselves. They're not going to blame the wells. They're going to blame me, even though I actually would not have had anything to do with it whatsoever in that decision. So that's why I'm going to pump the brakes on this and not release the information right now. Again, guys, like, it's not to withhold information, but it's just there's too many people who I know are going to completely abuse it. And when they lose, it's just going to cause more headache for me right now.
All right, we're under 4 minutes.
All right, yeah. So that's all I actually have to say today.
Real quick, 30 seconds as an update, follow up from yesterday's show with POAI. I heard from several members who emailed Teresa Ferguson, I was glad. Thank you for doing that. I think that'll get some positive ball rolling. She responded to a lot of people. It was a form letter, but if you're getting bombarded, I expect that. I also requested to follow her on LinkedIn. She, within like an hour and a half of doing that, she connected there. So to her credit, to be actively in the social media doing her job, I'm excited about that. So I think it's a positive versus us getting ignored, like in the past.
Yeah, I mean, she's vocal. Hopefully she'll remain vocal, and we'll just have to see.
All right, 2.5 minutes.
All right, everybody. That's all I have to say for today. You have anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right, everybody, remember, trade safe, trade smart. And like I was saying, Apple and Amazon earnings today, if you are trading them, just remember, regardless of anything,
Be careful.
Yeah, be careful. It's still a gamble. It's still like flipping a coin. So until then, we will see y'all in the next one.
Ciao.